This is the Mobile Tech Podcast, brought to you by worldpodcasts.com. Now here's your host, Tech Girl, Miriam Joie.
Brought to you by Mint Mobile. Stay tuned for a special offer at the end of the show. Hi, and welcome to the Mobile Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Miriam Joie, and today is Thursday, May 28, 2026, and the lovely Nick Sutrich is back with me here again. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me back on.
It feels like I just had you on because I did. And
yes, it was April, right?
Well, yeah, it was like a month and a bit ago.
Yeah.
But you know, the cool thing about this is that we talked about I/O last week, and I was very cranky about it. Like, I'll have to admit that I had a very doomsy way of looking at it. But I still feel like what I said was correct. And you should listen to it, folks, if you haven't, last week's show. But we did briefly touch on all the smart glass stuff, which was really the only hardware they talked about, right? And so
they also briefly touched on it, so it's okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it was the only kind of, if you're a hardware person like I am, you know, that was really the thing. But I didn't really have, you know, a good feel for it. And we kind of had to talk about the Razer Ultra and a bunch of other stuff. So I would love to spend a bit of time with you today talking about the smart glasses, kind of the state of smart glasses in general. But you've had some cool experiences with the Razer Fold, which is one of my favorite folding phones. You've had some thoughts about what I/O brought to the table with like Xreal's Project Aura, which I'm also very excited about. And then you have currently the Meta smart glasses, the Ray-Bans with the display, right? So I want to talk about all that and spend like a good half of the show on that. And then I got some phones to unbox for folks on video. For those of you paying for the video version on my Patreon, patreon.com/TNKGRL. Go check it out if you want to support me. You get a video version. I'm going to unbox 2 new phones that arrived. And one of them I'm taking to Asia with me. I'm going to Computex next week. I'll be there. There'll be a podcast from Computex. I'll be looking at a whole bunch of new laptops and computer stuff. I haven't been since 2019. I love that show. It's great. Yeah. The only time I've been to Asia since before COVID has been the Samsung event that they did in South Korea. And, you know, when we got the Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 5, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. I couldn't remember if it was S24 or if it was the Z.
No, it was a
series.
Z for sure. Okay. All right, so let's start with I/O. So let's recap what they announced at I/O. So the official partnership that Samsung is having with Gentle Monster and Warby Parker, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, to me, I'll tell you what I feel right off the top of my head. I'm like, it's not Meta. I'm on board. Like, you know, even though I complained about Google last week and the AI slop, because I have so much of my life in Google and I trust them more, which is a lot, but more than Meta.
Yeah.
And I use Gemini a ton. I'm actually very excited about having a pair of glasses on that's stylish, that has a speaker and mic, and has a camera.
Yeah. I feel, gosh, let's see. So my personal use of these glasses typically revolves around the camera. I will usually wear them for like, if I'm out on an event of some kind, I like to record video or take pictures with them because I have both my hands. Like, it's nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's nice to take them to other kinds of like fitness events and things like that. Because again, you don't have to have a GoPro helmet or something. Like, I see people walking around with GoPros strapped to their heads at some of these events. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather have a pair of glasses that does the same
I
thing.
hear you. Yeah.
Right. So like for that function, I love doing them. I almost never use Meta AI on those glasses. I just don't care about it. I really, the only thing I do with voice commands is very simple: text so-and-so, read my message while I'm driving or something, like, you know, more of a Google Assistant or Siri type of situation rather than
what's the weather? Set a timer for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So some of those other things that they use them for are cool. They have like the Be My Eyes feature and all those, but I would much rather use Gemini if I'm going to be using a digital assistant like that than I would Meta AI. And maybe some of that's for privacy, maybe. But it's also, just like you said, I have so much of my life wrapped up in Google services. Meta AI can't read all those sources and give me contextual information for that stuff, nor would you probably want it to. And, you know, you could say the same thing for Gemini to some degree, but at the very least, all of those services are wrapped up in stuff you already do. So what's the difference there, right? You can now interact with it in a different way, maybe a more useful way.
Yeah, no, look, I agree with you. For me, it's a matter of the lesser evil, but also the fact that it does know stuff about me that's actually useful. And if I'm going to pay for
Right.
this stuff, right? I mean, I don't right now, but I have some sort of high level Gemini subscription because I've reviewed like a Pixel phone or something. I don't know where I'm at.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's kind of like nebulous, but all of this combined makes it more likely for me to want to use a product that uses Gemini. Whoever makes
Right.
it, like the fact that it's Samsung and Warby Parker, I'm pretty warm about Warby Parker in terms of like my gut feeling about them as a company. They make some cool glasses. Gentle Monster, less familiar. Samsung, it's Samsung. Look, you can't go wrong with Samsung. As much as I like to beat on them a lot, because I'm critical, because it's my job, because, their phones could be better. They make great products. Like my Galaxy Ring's still kicking real hard after many years of abuse. My current darling earbuds are the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro, or whatever they're called. They're amazing still. My Galaxy Watch Ultra that I wear from time to time, I'm wearing the OnePlus today, but that one is also pretty solid. Like I think that Samsung Health being free and what it gives you for free is really great. So I have no, like the fact that it's Samsung is great, fine, but it could be another brand partnering with these glass manufacturers. I don't really care as long as they have the Gemini and it works, like.
Yeah.
The cameras too. Like for me, a lot of it is imaging. Like I like the idea of like that first person imaging capture for driving. It's great for cars. Way better than mounting a GoPro or something.
Right. I'm very curious to see if we get some sort of like, we'll call it pixel magic with the camera, or if this is going to be, I'm not even sure whose processing algorithm we would use if it's not a Google/Pixel sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, it could be Samsung,
I mean,
which is not bad.
Samsung's making the hardware, but I don't know that they really have involvement in the software side. I think it's mostly, hey, we know you can build good stuff. You're already some sort of hardware partner. Like we might as well have you build these things and you get a cut of it and we don't worry about it.
I think it'll be really interesting. The telling part will be if once you get the glasses, you install the software that goes with it, if it's Google software or if it's Galaxy Wear. I think it's going to be Galaxy Wear.
Yeah.
In which case the camera stack could be Samsung.
Yeah.
Imaging.
Like I have a Galaxy XR and that is very much one UI on top of Android XR. So there's no visual component to this. So it's not like you're really going to see it from the glasses, but yes, the app could be anything. We'll find out very soon because I think we're looking at like August, aren't we looking at?
Okay.
For the release date?
What did they say at Google I/O? Like we knew the partnership existed. They showed some glasses. Presumably we didn't see those before. What else is new from the announcements?
Right. So from the actual keynote, nothing. From the show floor.
The most useless keynote. That's why I ranted so hard last week.
It was quite literally a brief mention. Hey, we are still making these glasses. They are definitely coming this fall. Next topic. Basically was the
Daniel
show.
Bader was my guest, and Daniel called it an infomercial. I feel like he's right. It was an infomercial.
Fair.
Anyway.
It pretty much was, yeah. And they did give a little live demo on the stage, but it was not much. On the show floor, I guess we'll call it, on I/O grounds, they had Project Aura, which is a little more interesting.
That's with Xreal, correct?
Yes, I brought several pairs of smart glasses with me. I will just show like one of them. So this is Xreal's newest collab. These are the ROG glasses.
Oh,
And
I
Project
remember
Aura
them briefing me about that.
A little bit like these. Yeah. So Aura is going to look a little bit like these. They're, not quite as small as a normal pair of glasses. They're going to sit a little bit away from your face versus like these other AI glasses or whatever. But these are going to have dual displays on them. They are primarily designed to be a wearable display. And really effectively, Aura is a VR headset in a smart glasses form factor because it's got all the tracking. It's got the compute puck. It can run full Android XR with all the window management. It's got hand tracking. Like this is a VR headset with a smaller FOV and way smaller hardware.
Okay, I didn't realize it had hand tracking. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yes, it's literally, it's fantastic.
I mean, Xreal, the last one I used is their last pair of Pro glasses. I don't know what the exact brand name was, like Xreal 2 or 1 or 1 Pro. Yeah. And I used those with a laptop, and it was pretty great. Like this company from Israel was making software that let you kind of virtualize your laptop experience in Windows.
Yeah.
It did have tracking and stuff. It didn't have hand tracking, but it was very, very good. There was a lot of bugs in the software, and I decided not to review it because it wasn't ready yet. But I gave them some feedback, and I said, come back to me with version 2 once it's further developed, because it was really cool. Because I used it on an airplane, and all of a sudden I had like a, I don't know, a 10-foot screen in front of me. So that's cool.
The buggy nature has honestly been the experience with the software side of smart glasses since in the inception of them, right? It feels a lot to me like the people who probably enjoy smart glasses most are the people who like to build their own PCs and screw with stuff and install drivers and mods for their games and, tweak INI files and all this stuff. Like, it is very much in that realm of
Linux users.
people. Well, that too, yes. But
I'm one of them. I love them.
I am very much not.
Well, I
don't want to do any of that crap.
I want to say it as an aside. I have Linux on a bunch of old antique to this point computers, like basically computers that are kind of iconic from the late 90s, early 2000s that cannot run, current OSs or their legacy OSs properly anymore because there's no, browsers that work, no certificates, whatever. I use it I get some old Toshiba Portage ultra thin laptops from the, they're really cool, but I've got like a very bare bones Linux running on there so that I can actually open a web browser and do something if I want to, kind of thing.
Sure.
But I don't run it on my main computers. I'm not that crazy.
No,
some people are though.
Right. And I think that's probably the main draw of Android XR from any angle, is that this is a mature software platform. It works like you expect it to. It does the things you want it to do, and it's not janky. I was trying to think of a good word.
Yeah, well, that's the feeling I get, and honestly, that's why I'm excited about it, because I am not a VR person. I would prefer having the option to, to do the dimming like Xreal lets you do, where it kind of opaques your glasses, or physically put up, flip down a pair of like opaque, covers to get more VR-like experience. But I don't like the idea of being completely enclosed, sweating and all that weight and stuff. And that's why, to me, this whole Project Aura stuff's got me very excited, because even if it's limited in its use, right, it's an experience that I know I will enjoy more, and it's more likely to get me on board until we can make a normal pair of glasses that is, the same weight as a normal pair of glasses, has built-in displays, has built-in compute, has built-in networking, and lasts a day on a battery, right? Like, we're still I think 5 years away from that right now. And that's okay, because it will happen. It's inevitable. Whether it'll become people's main compute, I don't think so. I think in the same way as laptops are still around and tablets coexist with laptops, and we still use our smartphones like insanely much, I think that this is going to be another device, in the same way as we have smartwatches that do different things, and and that's okay by me. So I'm excited about all this. You wrote some cool stuff. I want to let the audience know that I will be linking in the show notes to your stories that you wrote about the I/O stuff, because I think it's cool. You specifically have a story about Aura, and so also, Scott Stein over at CNET, who's been somebody I've known forever and has a very good take and understanding of wearables in general, wrote a really nice kind of summary of what happened with smart glasses at I/O. So I'll be linking to that.
Scott is great. He knows,
Scott is great.
Knows what he's talking about too.
And it's like Victoria Song at The Verge. She's another person that I trust when I want to talk about wearables. She's been on the show. She's been my guest. Speaking of Scott, I need to get him on the show. It's been a really long time. But look, I think for me, obviously at I/O, it felt like they kind of dipped their toes into what this stuff could do, and kind of, we got a little more, but we're not quite at the point where the launch is happening. The devices are out there. As you said, August for the displayless glasses.
I think that's the idea. And then the Project Aura will be maybe a little closer to like the holidays.
Okay, so like you're looking at the end of the year at this point, right?
Probably. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was because they didn't say specific dates, but based on like everybody I've talked to and like the general feel of things, it seems like August or September is probably the AI glasses, and then November-ish for Aura.
Okay. So, and then, but the Xreal glasses that they showed, those exist, right? Or like, are they just prototypes
Correct.
at this
Yeah.
point? They're
No,
not.
no,
Are
no, no.
they
They are
sold?
like
They're
a
sold. Okay.
product.
Okay.
So
Got
the
it.
ones that I just held, yes, those
Yeah.
are sold. You can buy them. You can buy them now, actually. Yeah, they're available at Best Buy.
And will they become part of Project Aura? Is what I'm trying to understand. Like, are they going to support the software?
No, no.
Okay.
Aura is different because Aura comes with a compute puck that looks honestly a lot like a phone. They've experimented
Surprise.
with this in the past they've experimented this in the past where they have this kind of thing. And it's similar to like, you get a Vision Pro or a Galaxy XR and it's tethered to like your battery, right? It's still
Yeah.
that size. And the thing is the battery. So it's like, it's the compute, it's the
Did
battery.
they
It's
do
basically
that
the
with the
brains of the thing.
Xreal? What was it called? The Beam or something? I can't remember the name
Yes,
of it.
that was the first one, the Beam, and then later on they had the Beam Pro.
That's the one I had.
So that
I got
was
the Beam
their
Pro.
experiment. Yeah.
And that was cool.
And I think that was the proof of concept. Yes, we can do this. And now that they're going to have hand tracking and some of these other things, a more mature software platform, it's going to feel like a final thing versus those felt a little bit more like proof of concepts that you could buy.
Yeah, it was hard for me to like dive in fully on that because I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, I get the idea that you're trying to save battery life from your main phone, and that there are some apps that you don't really need on your phone that you might want on your VR headset, like because it's more suited for that purpose. Like maybe
Yeah.
Netflix, right? Like, and at that point, might as well install it if you have an Android device in your hand, like the Beam Pro, do it there. But then it's like managing two devices. One doesn't have connectivity other than Wi-Fi, so you need to tether it, and then it becomes complicated in another way, right? It's what I felt.
Yeah.
Like, on one hand, I get the battery life consumption issue. On the other hand, the complexity that it adds to have that second device, even though it did come with some benefits, obviously,
Yes.
like the better tracking and stuff. Yeah. So,
And I will say this is something that Android XR does an excellent job of fixing because, like, let's again go back to my Galaxy XR, which runs the exact same software that Aura will. You can quick share between all your devices. It will do
Nice.
hotspot sharing between all your devices. Like all of these little problems that Google has solved over the years between your phone and all the ancillary devices you use now wrap up into Android XR. So when you put these things on, it's not very difficult at all to be able to be like, oh, I need my file over here, or I need to do this over here. And you just do it and it works. And there's no, you don't have to download another app. You don't have to configure some crap. But like it's really, it's such a nice breath of fresh air that I feel like we're finally moving past again, like that tweaking stage of, oh, I've got to be somebody who enjoys just playing around with settings and stuff to really get
it's
the
all
full
about
benefit
INI
out of
files,
this.
man.
And
It's all about INI files.
yeah, right. And now I think we're getting to the point where a regular person can just buy these things and stick them on and enjoy them.
Do we know anything about price points on all of these devices, starting with the
Absolutely not.
Nothing. No. Okay. What's the cost of
I would guess
the ones you have right now?
I would guess the AI glasses are $300.
Okay.
Okay, so these ROG ones are $850. These are the most expensive.
Well, they're
ones
for
they sell.
gamers, right? So, and they're
Yeah,
much
it's
higher
a
res and much
240
higher
hertz
refresh.
micro OLED, and all that stuff. So, Aura, I mean, I'm gonna honestly guess $1,000, maybe less.
Okay.
I don't think
How
it's gonna
much
be
is
cheap.
the XR headset? You already have the Samsung one.
$1,800.
Whoa.
No thanks.
Well, but at least it's not 3,500 like the Apple Vision Pro.
No,
Okay.
it is not. But I don't think it's going to be as much as Galaxy XR. I hope it's not going to be. I feel like this year is such a crapshoot with tech prices.
Oh yeah, well there's
you
all
never
there's
really
all
know
that
what
too.
it's going to be.
Yeah.
In a normal year, though, I would expect this to be between $800 and $1,000.
Right. So
I don't know what that means this year.
Hey, look, that's a good ballpark. Let's start with that. Let's keep that as a goal in the back of our heads, and then if you add a little more in case of RAM prices and whatever, all that.
Sure.
So here's a question for you. You also have the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses.
Yep.
And since you told me you're not really invested in the Meta ecosystem much, like I'm not either, other than maybe Instagram and Threads. maybe a bit of WhatsApp with my mom, because in Europe, that's what they use for messaging. I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, is it worthwhile for you? Like, has it been an interesting experience? Does it give you a feel for what it might be like with Gemini? Is that, I mean, of course, you're testing them because you review this stuff, but what's your
Right.
vibe? Like, how do you feel about them?
So this is interesting, right? I would say these are them, right? Okay, I'll put them on so you have like an idea of what they look like. They're
They
little
look
chunky,
good on
right?
you,
But
actually. A
they're
little
pretty good.
chunky, but
Yeah.
they don't look terrible.
A lot of people wear glasses that look like this. They don't look out of
Yeah,
place,
look at me.
right? They look like you picked this style. Oh, there you go. It's hard to tell like what size the glasses are on video, but okay. So I would say before 2 weeks ago, I would not have
Okay.
paid this money for these glasses. Okay.
Okay.
The difference between now and 2 weeks ago is that they opened up the ability to develop web apps for this. And in just the 2 weeks that's been open, I don't even think it's been 2 weeks yet. It might be like a week and a half. There have been so many new web apps, and they're cool things too. You have like
Oh.
speedometers. So like you can wear these when you're skateboarding, and now it's telling you how fast you're going, right?
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
You can play Doom on it if you want. It's
Oh, of course you can.
I wouldn't actually play Doom on it because you're
Does it
wearing
have
the
two
neural band and you
displays,
have to.
or is it just one display?
It's just one. It's in the right.
On the right. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
why you
where you
keep
start to
pointing.
get into like, I don't know that I want to be like looking here
How do you control it with your
constantly.
hands?
Yeah. So you wear this band
Oh, the band. That's right.
and you basically move your thumb to scroll. So like think of your index finger as a touch screen essentially. So you're
Yeah.
like scrolling on here. To adjust volume, you pinch and you turn, right? The index and middle finger clicks are different because it understands muscle
yeah.
structure in here and which ones you're clicking and all that. And then you have a couple of other gestures you can do too, but it works incredibly well.
Wow.
It is like
That's great.
surprising how well it works. I would say the only thing is that I got kind of spoiled by the Orion demo that I did because Orion also had eye tracking. So you
Right.
could look at it and pinch, and that adds a whole new layer of interaction. Whereas this is slightly clunky.
Are we getting the eye tracking in Aura?
No, there's no
No.
eye tracking in Aura.
Okay.
Not that I know of anyway. But
Okay.
the clunky part in this comes with like, you still have to like, all right, I'm D-padding down essentially as I'm swiping. And then I
Yeah.
click, right, or whatever. There's a little bit of friction there, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's too bad. And they have handwriting now to reply to messages. You can just handwrite on a desk and it will infer your handwriting it'll translate it to typing essentially. Or you can just do
So-
voice.
The speedometer sounds like a neat little application. You know, obviously it doesn't command your entire field of view. It's on the side. It's on one eye.
Yeah, right.
Like, has there been anything else besides new web apps? Include new web apps in your list if you can. But like anything that you feel have been like, oh, this is cool. Like this is something that I could see being useful. Because, you know, like a lot of this is like a lot of technology. And you and I are both nerds in that sense. We like the tech.
Yes.
Initially, it's not that necessarily very useful.
Exactly.
There's always that pivotal moment where you get something and you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. And I'm wondering if you've reached that stage yet, or we're still in the, Anyfile nerd Linux side of things on this device that you're wearing right now,
That's a great way to put it. It's still a little on the nerd side.
Okay.
I would say somebody with a lot of money that doesn't mind blowing it on a gadget would probably enjoy it as a gadget, but I really don't think you're going to get that much use out of it.
So you
I
think
don't
that
know.
most people should just get Meta Ray-Bans or potentially the Warby Parker Gentle Monster Samsung collab
Yeah.
that's coming up?
This is definitely, if you like gadgets, you will have a good time playing with this. I also have another one is Even Reality's G2, which are substantially
Cooler
I can't get it past my
looking.
headphones, whatever. Yeah, so they're way lighter. They're only 37 grams, and they
Wow.
have two displays. It's two monochrome displays, one on each lens. And this one you actually control with a smart ring. It's got a touchpad on the side. So you just
Very
stick it
cool.
on your index finger and you're just swiping like this. And same deal, it's got web apps. I don't actually know when they put the web apps on there, but there's a lot.
Okay.
And same kind of thing, like you can do grocery lists and all kinds of things like that. So you're not like holding your phone constantly.
The Meta Ray-Ban display, the single display you said on the right, but is it monochrome or color?
It is color.
Color, okay. So the Even Reality is a
Yes.
monochrome dual display. Cool.
Yep.
It's good to know. So are these projecting kind of like floating ahead of you displays, or are they like you have to focus closer when you look at them?
You can actually adjust it. So like on the even realities, you have 3 distances. You can have close, medium, and then far away. I find
Oh,
far away to be
cool.
most comfortable.
That makes sense.
And then you can adjust the tilt too. So like when I put them on, the bottom portion was cut off. And so I had to push it up a little bit so that I could see the whole display.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, it's funny because
lots of
that's something that,
adjustments.
speaking of any files and adjustments, you know, heads up displays in cars. You know, a lot of cars have them now. It's pretty, you can buy that on like a relatively affordable car nowadays. But
Right.
for me, they always require some adjustment in height because I like to sit low in cars. And sometimes it cuts off the bottom edge or the top edge or whatever. And so it reminds me of that. Like somebody needs to come up with a thing which auto adjusts it for you, you know, like somehow figures out where your eyes are in the car and goes like, oh, this seems like the auto, like we can still override it, but because that would be
Right.
kind of the thing. You know that some modern cars now let you push a button and it adjusts your seat. You tell it your body height and you push a button and it'll adjust your seat.
Oh,
Ergonomically
that's cool.
ideal for your body height.
Right.
And then you can override from there. But if you're initially kind of confounded and going like, I don't know where to start on adjusting my seat,
Yes.
like people like me who've done racing and driven forever, we kind of, I have a routine that I like literally I have a little subroutine running in my head. Like, okay, in a new car, first thing I do is lower the seat all the way down, push it back a little bit so I can sit in it. Then I sit in it. Then first thing I do is adjust the distance of the seat to the pedals for each,
Right.
and the rake of the thing. And then I adjust my steering wheel and I try to put it as high as I can and enough that I can bend my arms so that I can actually maneuver, because a lot of people like to have their arms locked out in front of them. And that's really unsafe because you don't have any room for maneuver. And if you hit something, you'll break your elbows. And if you race and you're on the track, you will hit something eventually. It's only a matter of time. So anyway, you know, I basically have like this algorithm in my head that automatically runs when I get in a car and adjusts the seats for me.
Right.
It's all done by me, by feedback of my eyes and my arms, right? Pushing buttons and things.
Right.
But I kind of feel like this is like one of those feedback mechanisms, right? Like, and with now a lot of cars have cameras inside the car to see if, like, for attention, for the driver attention, for the self-driving. And so, well, why not use that to measure where the eyes are? And then you can figure out, you know, but you know where the seat is. Like the car knows how high or how low the seat position is. So you could do all that automated. But the fact that they want you to enter the height is interesting. I kind of want it to be completely automated. And I think eventually with smart glasses, we're going to get it to the point where once they start adding eye tracking and stuff like that, you're just going to be able to like push a button, calibrate, and boom, everything's perfect, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's like on pretty much any VR headset with eye tracking you can do that with. PSVR 2, Galaxy XR, Apple Vision
So it's
Pro.
already there.
And those are 3 very different price points, right? And they all have that base feature because they have eye tracking.
Yeah,
it exists, and it's just you have to have that component for it to be able to do that.
And that's expensive right now, right? That's the thing that's kind of gating a lot of the cheaper models, correct?
If it's not expensive, then it takes up room or, you know, one thing or another. So it's just an extra piece that you got to stick in there that's doing something.
So I mentioned that I'm going to link to your Project Aura Xreal IO story and then to Scott Stein's kind of recap. And then one thing that intrigued me you wrote about recently, as you all know, audience, and you might know, Nick, I have been gushing about the Moto Razr Fold. I love that thing. I'm actually going to put it aside. Here it is, folks. I'm going to put it aside for my trip to Asia because I want to go back to my Oppo Find N6 for a bit, just to see if maybe I'm kind of hallucinating about how good the Razr Fold is. Because I know the Oppo is great and the Razr's been great, but is it really that great after, you know, going back to the Oppo?
Right.
We'll find out. You use that phone with a pair of, what are the Virture? No, what is the brand?
We did the Feature ones, yeah.
Feature, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I wrote about.
Tell me about the experience, because here's the thing. Like, this is the preamble to this story, and you tell me how that fits in with what your experience has been. I fly a lot, as you know, because I live in 2 places. I commute. And, you know, it's not long flights, but I find that depending on what class of service I'm in, if I'm in first class and I have enough room to pull out my MacBook Air or MacBook Neo and work, And I do a bit of writing and I do a bit of emailing and whatever. But if I don't have room to do that because, maybe I can still fit the laptop on an economy seat tray, no problem. But then the screen has to be bent forwards because if they recline, it's going to break the laptop.
And then you're hunched like this
and
too,
I'm hunched,
right?
and then I have to worry about my elbows hitting people, right? All that. So I've been using folding book style phones as my main writing tool when I'm on flights, when I'm not in a place where I have real estate. And, I could do the 2 pocket thing like Michael Fisher does with a Bluetooth folding keyboard and a stand, which I've done, but I do that mostly at coffee shops. On an airplane, again, you get the tray. It's going to be a little rickety to do that. There's still no room to put a keyboard down. So I just do the thing, I'm holding the phone like this, right? And like I'm tapping on the corners here, on the corners where the keyboard is and it's great. Like I have a Google Doc open and I can fire away like 500 words and in an hour or whatever and get some stuff done. Great. But what would it be like if I wore like some sort of display glasses? And you did that. You experimented with that. I'm really curious because, on a laptop, I've done it. I know what it's like, but I've never actually done it with the phone.
So that's why I picked the Razer Fold to write this about, because most phones, when you plug a pair of smart glasses in, assuming it's a phone that supports display output through USB-C, typically just mirrors the screen. So you're going to plug it in. You're just going to have your vertical screen sitting right there. You rotate your phone, it puts the landscape, right? And it's a wide landscape. And so you can watch videos or whatever like that. But for the most part, when you're doing that, it's mostly just to put a movie on, put it on the side and just, sit back and relax or whatever. When you plug it into a Razer Fold, and Samsung's also good about this with DeX.
DeX.
You get, on Motorola, you get an interface right away that's like, hey, how would you like to use this? As a desktop, as a TV thing? There's a couple of other options too. And right there, you can pick what you want.
Smart Connect, correct? Is that what it's called?
Yes, it's Smart Connect. Yep. And when you hit desktop, it opens a desktop. It looks like a Chromebook at that point. It's like almost identical to a Chromebook, honestly. And so then you can just use it like a Chromebook. You can hook up a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. And there you go. There's your desktop on the go. And because it's a floating monitor on the smart glasses, you can adjust that a lot. You can make it, sit in place. On a plane, you have to do smooth follow because the gyros don't play nice with the plane. But it's still like there. You're not holding your arms up. You're not hunched over. It's in front of you. And that, especially for long flights, that makes such a big difference because you're not getting off the plane all uncomfortable and all that stuff. And then you still got work done or whatever else you wanted to get done, right? And on top of that, the other cool thing is you're the only one that could see that display. So unlike sticking your phone here and having the people around you watching whatever you're doing, now all your stuff's private. And it solves a lot of problems. And I really like the way Motorola specifically implemented it. But again, Samsung also does an excellent job at plug it in. You can have your DeX desktop and you can do all that stuff on there.
And the nice thing is, I guess you can close the lid on the folding phone and put it aside somewhere while it's connected to the glasses while this is going. Right. And then you now have room on your tray to actually push the keyboard further towards the seat in front of you and type
or
on
even
that
just
keyboard.
Put the phone down on your side or something. Yeah,
exactly. So that solves the real estate issue too, and the elbow issue of you typing. I still prefer to type on a keyboard if I can. So I need to try that. Sure. So can I do that? I can do that with my Xreal Pro glasses, right? Theoretically,
correct.
I should try that. And then DeX. Have you tried DeX on that?
Yes.
Is that your next article?
I haven't tried it recently, but yes, you can use it. It works just fine. It's effectively the same thing, right? Like,
all right.
It gives you a Chromebook-like interface.
Do you prefer Moto or do you prefer Samsung?
If I could use Samsung screens more, I would probably prefer Samsung. But
okay, so you just tried Smart Connect.
I think in general,
right?
I would say. I mean, in general, I think we had this conversation before. Like, I like Samsung software features, but its hardware holds me back from enjoying its stuff. And that could be battery life reasons too. Like, there's a lot of reasons Samsung hardware holds you back right these days. Yeah. It's just they could do a better job there.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes for me, it's the reverse as well. It's like sometimes it's the hardware's great, and then I'm like, this part of there's little chunks of software, and then I'm like, oh, please, seriously, what the hell?
Yeah.
Samsung.
No, I get it.
I mean, it's true on many Android phones. Not even some of the even my darling OS on Android, other than Pixel, being Oppo, OnePlus. There are some things in there that I'm like when they added that stupid extra tray on the right side of the app tray, like recently, like the thing that looks like an iPhone categorizes the apps.
Oh yeah. The
I'm
auto sort thing.
Like what? I want to turn that panel off. Go away.
Yeah, I just don't use it. Whatever.
No, I don't use it either. It's at least easy to ignore because it always starts on the app tray. But like the fact that you can't even disable that is just like, please.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's cool. So I'll link to that story because I'm not sure I'm up for trying it on my flight to Taipei just yet because, well, first of all, I'm going to have enough real estate to use my laptop on this flight.
Yeah.
But I might on a shorter flight to try it out. Pull out my Xreals. I guess the other advantage, like using a Z Fold 7 versus using the Razr Fold, is the Razr Fold has that massive battery, so it's going to power those glasses a lot longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying before about the battery too. Is like that's a big. Just make sure when you use them on a flight or in a car, some other vehicle that's moving, put it on smooth follow because if you put it on anchored mode, as the car turns, that monitor is just going to stay right there.
And that's the setting in the Xreal glasses,
and
right?
It'll freak you out at first because you're like, wait. Like
that's an Xreal setting, right? Correct.
Yeah, you just click the top button and it switches between the modes. Yeah, it's really easy to do, but just remember to do it.
Yeah. I had similar experience I remember having a similar experience with the laptop on a flight with the Xreal glasses once. It's exciting and entertaining. Where's my window?
You're like, wait, how do I?
500 miles behind me.
It's way back there. That's right.
It's back in economy. Oops.
Exactly.
Somebody's looking at it. No, wait, they can't because they're not wearing the glasses.
I love it.
Oh, it's funny. All right, well, let's talk about some other stuff. I got a bunch of, it's been a quiet week, folks. I've got a bunch of, the news have been pretty light. I've got two phones to show y'all. So I'm going to just unbox them live on TV here. For those of you on audio, don't worry. I will remove the annoying parts, like the sounds and things that might be like, what are they doing right now? I have no idea. I have no context because I'm listening to audio. So Realme sent me this phone, the 16T. Now, there it is. There's the box. I don't know how much this phone costs, guys. It's probably pretty cheap. I'm figuring 250 to maybe definitely less than $300. The thing about this phone that makes it kind of interesting is that it's got an 8,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon battery. Realme does that a lot. They have the Realme Power or whatever has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, so this is not unusual. It has a 50 megapixel main camera. It's a pretty decent IMX 852. It does not have OIS, I don't think. This is a very, very cheap phone. It might even be less than 250. It has IP69, which is good. But it also has some kind of iffy things, like the display is a 720p LCD at 144 hertz, but it's a 720p LCD. And the reason I'm kind of surprised, because last year, the 15T last year, they sent it to me, and that one had a 1080p OLED at 144 or something. Like, very few Chinese phones at this price point, folks, have an LCD anymore. Like, this is weird that I'm currently only assuming that they're trying to hit the price point and maybe the cost of RAM or whatever is causing some trouble, right? Other specs for this phone, before I unbox it real quick. It has a MediaTek Dimensity 6300 and 45 watt wired charging, which isn't great, but it does come with a charger in the box. And it has a selfie mirror in the back. You remember selfie mirrors? Watch out. I'm
so fun.
Here we go. Okay. First of all, you got a divider here, and this is going to have some accessories in it. Check it out. We get a cable and a charger. Super VOOC of some kind. Let me see. What does it say on it? 45 watt charger. Nice that that's included on a cheap phone. You do get a SIM removal tool, and you get a cable as well. So that's nice. Then in this divider here, you get a case. So that's nice. And then you get some documentation. Okay, the phone itself is got some cool colors, but I'm still completely vexed by that 720p LCD. Like, that is completely unacceptable for a Chinese phone these days. Like, $100 phone maybe, but look at this cool marbly finish on it. And it's got the Realme logo. See that? Look at the lines there.
This is the one with the wings design.
Yeah, supposedly. So there's your selfie mirror. Look at that. Yeah, and then there's some sort of depth sensor, like it's tiny, tiny camera right there. You see it where my finger is? That camera there is a tiny thing.
This selfie mirror is like tripping me out right now.
Yeah, right? Okay, so here, I'm going to turn
funny.
it on so you can see how bad this display looks because it's not great. There's so much bezel. Do you see at the bottom there how it's cut off the Android? That's how much bezel is because that's where the display folds, right? Because it's an LCD. Let's see if it boots into some kind of screen where we can see the whole thing. I'm just surprised because I've never seen them. Like, Realme's been the poster child for putting OLEDs in their cheapest phones forever. And this seems like such a step back.
Do you think this is a cost-cutting thing?
It's definitely a cost-cutting thing. Look at this bezel.
Maybe to keep this reasonable with...
And look, you can see it's an LCD.
Is it even?
No, well,
like, are the bezels even, or is it thicker on the bottom?
As I said, there's a chin at the bottom because that's where the display panel folds. But if you look at the camera here, look at this. You can see how that halo that's typical around the hole punch of LCDs because it's not like OLED where you can punch cleanly through the screen. You have to have some sort of border around there. And so there's always a bit of a darker halo around it. Anyway, this thing is super heavy and dense. And I think that's because of the 8,000 milliamp hour battery. But look, it's not very thick. It's only like 8 point something millimeters. So in that sense, it's pretty cool. Let me see. The dimensions are, it's 8.8 millimeters thick. So it's like thinner than an iPhone 17 Pro Max.
With an 8,000 milliamp
8,000 milliamps in here. So there you go, folks.
And an LCD, which makes it thicker.
Yeah, it's very strange that it has an LCD. But anyway, there you go, folks. This is one phone that I have for you. And then the second phone I have is actually more interesting. That's the one I'm going to take to Asia to try out because it is the Xiaomi 17T Pro. So this is, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Nick, but Xiaomi does the kind of TikTok cycle. So does Oppo, right? Like, so you get we just got the X9 and X9 Pro in the fall. And then we got the X9S, which is like an improved version of the X9. And then we got the X9 Ultra in the spring, right? That's the TikTok cycle. So Xiaomi does the same. They have the 17 and 17 Pro Max and 17 Pro come out. And then the Ultra came out a little later. And now they're doing the 17T series. So there's a 17T and a 17T Pro. And again, I'll put links to the GSM Arena database. You guys can check it out. But this here is the Xiaomi 17T Pro. And I'm excited about this one because this one is a proper flagship, right? But it's like the T series is always slightly more affordable. So, okay, so I take off the lid and there is, again, it's very much the same format as the other one. You've got a divider here. Remove that. It's got some accessories in it. Underneath is the phone. The phone says a bunch of stuff. I'm going to read it for you. Leica 5X periscope telephoto. 7,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon battery. 144 hertz AMOLED, 6.83 inches. MediaTek Dimensity 9500, not shabby. 100 watt wired and 50 watt wireless charging, also not shabby. And then we've got Hyper AI. Oh no, more AI. Okay, I'm going to take this out and we're going to take a look at it.
All the AI.
It's the same thing as the other one. There is a charging cable in here and a 100 watt charger. Check it out. So that's exciting because, and I love that's like that little orange keying. I still don't understand why the Chinese phones that have custom chargers like this put a USB-A plug on that custom charger because most of them support PD as well.
I've wondered that for a long time too. Yeah.
Like for a while, OnePlus, Oppo was doing a charger with a USB-C cord, socket on it. And then it was still a Super VOOC and it would also do PD. And this does, I'm pretty sure this charges at least at 18 or 30 watt PD as well. So like, why put anyway, it's weird that I don't get it. Maybe because I think I might know why. Because to get the higher speeds with the custom charging brick, you need a cable that can handle the current. And so they're guaranteeing that you're using their cable and not some generic USB-C cable.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Also, that cable is pretty thick. Okay, so let's have a look at what's in that box real quick. This is again a case and a SIM removal tool. So you got a SIM removal tool and we've got, this is a black TPU case. What else is in here? More manuals. I love phones that come with cases. Every phone should come with a case,
Yeah,
just to
I
hold
feel
you
like
over.
most of the ones that come with cases are always a clear TPU case. It's interesting to see any other color
All right,
than that.
here's the phone. There you go. It says Xiaomi down there or something. Lots of cameras, but this looks proper. Let's fire it up and see what this display looks like. This has PWM goodness. You'll be happy to know.
Yeah, it's 3840, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Let me actually look at the specs real quick while we boot here. So this thing has 144 hertz AMOLED, 3500 nits, 6.83 inches, 1280. So it's a 1.5K display, 1280 by 2772, Dimensity 9500. That's nice. Is it booted? Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So, by the way, that weird pinkish bluish that keeps shifting, that's actually an animation in the background. And as you see, even bezels, of course, is an AMOLED. I think the front-facing camera is a little more exciting. 32 megapixels. It's a triple camera system, 50 megapixel main, 1 over 1.3 inch, so pretty decent, f1.7, 50 megapixel 5x telephoto. Both of these have OIS, of course. And then we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. So that's where they're saving money compared to the 17 series, which has triple 50. And metal frame though. In the past, a lot of the T series has a plastic frame. They saved the money on that, but this year they're not skimping. Also, in the past, a lot of the T series did not have wireless charging, and this does indeed have wireless charging. So I'm excited, and I love this color. Isn't the color nice? Look at this. It's so good.
It looks really good.
And I like this camera pod. I think it's not too big. It looks nice. It's metal. I'm looking forward to trying this out. So, folks, stay tuned for a more in-depth review. I literally got these phones, so I haven't tried them out at all. I get so many phones to play with that it's nice to see that every now and then I get something that's like feels well balanced. Other than the ultra wide on this thing, I feel like this has pretty solid set of specs all the way around. And that makes me happy. I like phones that are complete. Even if the price is adjusted, like I think this Realme 16T, like last year's 15T had an OLED. I think that I would be happier if it just had like even a basic 120 hertz, like 1080p OLED. And then maybe, skimp on the battery a little bit. We didn't need 8,000. We could have done 7,000. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking there.
It could be a part spinning thing. I mean, it's hard to tell with some of these, especially the cheaper phones, what they've got to deal with to make it that price.
So these are the phones that came out. The other one, the 17T Non-Pro, by the way, is slightly different. I'm going to use the GSM database to tell you what's slightly different about it because I don't know off the top of my head. 17T. Okay, let's compare. And the difference is Dimensity 8500. Display looks smaller, 6.59 inches instead. It is still a 1.5K display. It is still 3500 nits. It's still it's 120 instead of 144 hertz. Cameras are identical all the way around, and the battery is a little small at 6500, and it does not have wireless charging. So you get a slightly lesser processor, no wireless charging, and less battery capacity on the non-Pro model. But it's a smaller phone, so it's more manageable to handle. I have the 17, like the base 17 from whenever it came out. And honestly, that phone is rocking. It's like, the S26, that size. Like the iPhone 17e, that size. But, full-on flagship, triple 50 megapixel, wireless charging, 8 Elite Gen 5. Like, man, it's good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love that you can still get a small phone that has all the specs. But unfortunately, that's a dying breed.
It's nice to see every now and then.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like,
10
Google did it last year with the
yeah.
Pixel 10 Pro. Yep. And then, I don't know who else. Not many.
Not many. Well, this Samsung S26 is not great, though. Like, it's very evolutionary, right? I think, honestly...
Yeah, and it's got 5-year-old cameras.
If you want a small Android and you want, like, a fast processor, like you want, like, better than Pixel, because you're gaming, I think that the Xiaomi's is one you should look at. They have a selection of smaller 6 point something. Also, Oppo Find X9 Non-Pro. It's a smaller phone. Also, very few compromise in terms of imaging and stuff. So check it out. Okay. The other things we have is, these are kind of cool, actually. Oh, Oppo Reno series. The Reno is the mid-ranger from Oppo. And I used to joke, for the first 10 generations of Renos, I got review units. But the problem was, Nick, that the Reno phones get released every 6 months. There's a new Reno every 6 months. And it means that you can't keep up because it's not just one phone. Right. It's like a regular and a Pro and a Pro Plus or whatever. And they're mid-rangers. Like, they're good, but are they as good as the X series? No. So you're like, eventually I gave up. I gave up on keeping up with it. But now we have Reno 16. And Reno 16 has, look at that. Dimensity 9500 and 8550. 9500, yeah. And by the way, the 8550 just came out. It's a brand new chip from MediaTek. It's very heavily optimized for LLMs and AI. And then it looks like 200 megapixel main sensor, 50 megapixel periscope telephoto, and 50 megapixel ultra wide. So this is almost a flagship, basically, with a Dimensity 9500. This is funny.
Like it. I mean, this.
It's almost like the Oppo Find X9 at this point. Like, what?
I know. It does seem like that. I'm looking at all the specs and I'm like,
usually the Renos are not that fancy. Like, that's kind of insane. And metal frame. Wow. Okay, so I don't understand the strategy here.
And it's Color OS, so I know both you and I will be happy.
Yeah, and it's got the IP69K, and this is China only for now.
Sure.
This kind of steps on the toes of the Find X9. I don't get it. It's a bigger screen, the Find X9. Maybe it's not. I
kind of wonder if this is why we've seen consolidation in the ex-BBK brands. Is like, you have so many of these phones now. It's like they're all in the same region. Why? Yeah. Why? Just
too much proliferation for sure. Right. But look, it exists, and the bottom line is it may or may not come to the West. Sometimes the Renos, not all of them do. And also, it could be India. Even though the specs are very similar, there might be a price difference between the Oppo Find X9 and this, say, the Reno 16 Pro, that makes it so that it's like significantly more affordable because maybe it's manufactured in India or something versus, I don't know. It's interesting. And also they might be using slightly slower RAM and slightly slower storage, right? So like that saves them, especially right now. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's rare that I talk about the Renos because usually they're boring. And this is actually kind of pretty good. Okay, anti-snatch feature for iPhone. There's rumors of this. I think this is great. And I really hope that it can work properly. And I really hope that it comes to Android in some way or another. Google, make it happen.
Don't Pixels do this? I swore somebody did this already.
I guess the idea is that to detect that suddenly the phone is being brutally moved and then ran with is how they're detecting it, I guess.
I made the mistake of not charging my Pixel before this. I meant to check, and I grabbed it, and I was like, it's not charged, dang it.
Where would it be? I've got my Pixel here.
It should be under, there's that section under settings where it has like all those weird random Pixel features.
Let me look.
Like under either safety and security or wherever the earthquake detection thing is.
Okay. Security and privacy.
Because I feel like it belongs in that section with the various sensor features.
Yeah. Advanced protection. More security.
No.
Device protection. Safeguards the device. Account protection. Device safety. Safeguards lost, stolen, confiscated devices. Theft detection lock. Oh, yeah. Theft detection lock. Automatically locks when motion indicates theft.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I swore Pixels did this. Cool. All right, well, now I'm going to go write about it. Thanks.
The question is that the same as snatch detection? Because it might be different.
I thought so.
Yeah, it feels as if it should be the same.
I was pretty sure they had this in a keynote, either for the Pixel 9 or 10.
I think you're right.
I mean, they probably didn't make as big of a deal about it as they should have, but I swore it was like a video of somebody running by and grabbing your phone while you were holding it or something.
Okay, I think you're right. I remember that too. Well, yeah. Apple, copycat.
I mean, whatever. If it makes more companies adopt this stuff, this is like the car motion sickness thing that
they
started doing that, and then now you have a whole bunch of other companies doing it. I'm like, good, whatever. As long as we get push for these types of things, fine, copy it.
I agree. Another bit of news that I think is interesting is Huawei is supposedly saying that their Mate 90 series is going to have a Kirin chip that has 3 nanometer equivalent tech in it. So it's not manufactured at a 3 nanometer chip, but it has equivalency. And the reason for that is this new tech that they've developed, because they're gated to, I think, 7 nanometers right now, called logic folding. It's basically they're reducing the distance of the electrical connections between parts of the chip. And by reducing that distance, they reduce latency and increase performance and speed inside the chip, meaning that they can reach the same level of efficiency in terms of heat dissipation and in terms of performance, like raw latency speed, as a faster 3 nanometer chip. This doesn't sound like BS to me as an engineer. It sounds very, very feasible. And, they're really trying, they're really gated. They're really having to be very creative about how they can make their chips perform better at 7 nanometer manufacturing, right? So I think this is cool. I think that the proof will be in the pudding. I'm sure that people like Ben Sin, who have access to these Huawei phones, are going to give us some good idea of what the performance feels like if it's better. But honestly, here's the thing. Every Huawei phone that's been reviewed since they've been stuck on 7 nanometers, nobody complains about performance or efficiency. And I think a lot of that has to do with Huawei optimizing the living crap out of its software.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think if now they're optimizing the chip internal architecture, physical design, so that they minimize trace lengths and distances between components, as soon as you lower the number of traces, you lower electrical resistance, you're lowering heat generation, you're increasing efficiency, and you're lowering latency by a few microseconds, So I think in that sense, it's a valid thing. I don't know how they do it technically, but I think it's fascinating. That's why I was like, I need to just mention that, because I love how creative the Chinese are being about the fact that they are unable to in-house in their own country right now build 3 and 5 nanometer chips.
And I think this is one of my favorite things when I look back at the history of computing. You have so many of these types of scenarios where they're like, we can't go any further than this manufacturer wise, or, we only have 64K of RAM to work with, or something ridiculous, right? Like some huge thing that you cannot surmount. And you're like, I still got to get this done. How am I going to make this work? And somebody comes up with some crazy trick and everyone just marvels at it. And I miss that in a lot of the modern devices, because we can just brute force everything so much these days that I feel like people forget how to make this really amazing ingenuity and engineering and everything that goes into those parts of it. And you lose that sort of awe and wonder that we used to have. So it's cool to see them going, you know what? We did it.
Kids these days, they don't understand any files in Linux and registry tweaking.
That's right.
And all that stuff we used to do when we were young. Get off the internet.
Oh, man.
I think this is a great way to wrap up. Nick.
It's fun.
Tell people where they can find you on the internet.
Oh, man. Guanatu at all the social media places, YouTube, whatever. Primarily write for Android Central. So that's where all my day job stuff is at. And
great. Do you want to spell that for us so that people know how to find you on social?
I'm not spelling that. Get out of here.
It's
Gwanatu.
See, that was easy.
It's nice and short, too.
Yeah. What are the platforms you're most active on?
X and Threads, and post on YouTube a couple times a month. And then, you know, like I said, Android Central for my main job.
YouTube's cool. I like your channel. It's cool.
It's fun. Thanks. Yeah. I'm glad.
Folks, you know where to find me. I'm at Tankgirl, TNKGRL, like the comic book character, drop all the vowels. That's my handle everywhere except on Instagram, where you have to add my year of birth, 69 at the end. So I'm mostly active on Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky. But I post everywhere. Just, if you want to comment, I'll keep an eye out. And then the podcast lives at mobiletechpodcast.com. You find the RSS feed there, but, I'm on all the platforms. You can find me by typing, Mobile Tech Podcast with Tankgirl, TNKGRL. You'll find me everywhere. And then if your app lets you rate or review the show, please consider doing that. That'd be helpful for, people to find the show, discovery and that. And then there's a YouTube channel, youtube.com/mobiletechpodcast. I've got monthly videos on there. Last one is my hands-on with all the Razer phones in LA. So hands-ons, reviews, unboxings, that kind of stuff. So yeah, subscribe. You know how YouTube works. Like, tell your friends, click the bell, comment, all that stuff. And then finally, I mentioned it a few times, and I unboxed 2 phones today. There's a Patreon where you get a video version of the podcast. You can see our faces. You can see our reactions. Last week, you got 10 extra minutes because I try to keep the audio version manageable. And my limit is 1 hour and 23 minutes. If it goes beyond that, the audio version gets cut down. But the video version gets the whole enchilada. So you got like something like 1.5 hour podcast last week on a video. So you get extra stuff. So, and then you get to see videos of me unboxing phones, showing devices. Nick showed a whole bunch of glasses today. So if you want to support me, here's what you do. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/TNKGRL, my handle. And then you can pay $5 a month. And every week you'll get the podcast a day in advance. I publish on Sundays for the free audio. So you get it on Saturday evening or something like that. And you get to watch us and listen to us before everyone else. So hopefully you can support me. I'd appreciate it. I also want to thank our sponsor, Mint Mobile. You know I review a lot of phones, so I'm constantly juggling multiple devices. While that's fun, it also means I'm spending a lot of money for wireless service on multiple SIMs. Thankfully, there's Mint Mobile, and that's who I'm teaming up with for today's podcast. If you want to save money on your wireless service, switch to Mint Mobile. You've probably seen the Mint Mobile ads featuring Ryan Reynolds, but let me quickly tell you how fantastic their service is, especially for tech-savvy early adopters like us. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep costs low because they sell direct to you online. They cut out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? In my experience testing phones, Mint Mobile delivers the same data speeds and call quality as the big three for a fraction of the cost. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their eSIMs, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. No more standing around waiting in line at a big wireless store. You can keep your current devices and phone number and easily switch services. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. The whole process only takes 15 minutes, and if you get stuck, Mint has a great customer service team to get you through it. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning-fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint will show you how much data you use each month and recommend plans that save you money. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. Use my link, mintmobile.com/mobiletech to get premium wireless starting at $15 a month. Stop paying more than you need on your wireless bill and start saving big with Mint Mobile. And Nick, thanks so much for joining me and nerding out about any files. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, stay tuned. We'll have another show next week from Computex. Until then, cheers, everybody.
This has been the Mobile Tech Podcast with Tank Girl, proudly presented by worldpodcasts.com. You can visit us online at mobiletechpodcast.com.